Well, we are now done with the regular season split for summer. I'm joined right now by Power of Evil with coverage brought to you by Alienware to talk about how things have shaken out for TSM now in second place. Power of Evil at the beginning of the split, people were like, TSM's doomed. You guys were having a really tough time. Then you kind of turned it around. What is your general assessment of TSM's strength now?
Um, I would say I'm pretty confident heading into playoffs. Our first best of five is going to be against TL, which is obviously not an easy opponent, but we beat them twice before, and I'm confident that we can, win against them if we play towards our strengths and if we are prepared correctly. It's not going to be easy, but um, I'm pretty confident. Like compared to at the start of the split, where I was really openly saying as well in interviews that I felt like we were pretty weak and we didn't perform to what level we should perform, since we were just not on the same page and a lot of chaos. I remember like there were games where like certain players were like 0-5 to 0-7 because like people just didn't know what the hell is going on and we just kept dying and kept dying, and we cleared up a lot of that stuff and improved a lot, I felt like, over the weeks. And obviously it doesn't stop here. We still need to improve over the playoffs weeks, and it shows that looking at the last year, that teams can make these miracle runs.
Maybe
FlyQuest.
you're a little quiet. Sorry if you can put the
Oh,
mic a little closer. Yeah.
yeah, like last year, for example, in FlyQuest in Spring Split, we went down to the losers brackets after the first round, made it all the way to finals, and in Summer Split, TSM did the same thing and actually won the whole thing. So it's going to be interesting to see how things shake out and if the team can do that run again.
Now, how concerned are you about Team Liquid? Because you know what's crazy? I think I've said this in multiple interviews, maybe on my show. People seem to always say like, TSM. Not that they think you guys are bad, but when they talk about the top teams, they see it's C9 and TL. And even now, I was just interviewing a C9 player who was suggesting that they would rather face TL than TSM, even though you guys are in the second place position now. Obviously, it's all fairly close, but how are you concerned at all about TL? It seems like a lot of people seem to think they're the superior team.
Well, as I said, I think if they are such a superior team over us, I feel like they should have beaten us at least once during the regular split. I think it's hard to say that, like, we beat them twice by luck. I think one of the games we just did like an insane comeback, which shouldn't be allowed either, right? I feel like if you're like a very strong team, you should normally not allow a team to come back from a big goal lead, right? And then as I said, I think we are somewhat the same strength. I wouldn't say we're like miles ahead of them. I think we are like, depending on the draft, we match up quite similar, and it's gonna be coming down to that day how the drafts are gonna be, how well teams are prepared. If there's like some cheesy picks ready, and how well teams can adapt from game to game. I think best of fives really show sometimes, okay, that stuff is not working out. We need to change stuff up, or sometimes you can see the salty run back. So it's gonna be interesting.
What is it that has allowed you, the TSM, over the last several weeks to really look like such a different team from the one at the start? You said there was a lot of chaos and all that stuff. So, what has brought organization to the chaos? I guess.
I would say first of all, we needed to find out how we play the game, like through which role do we play the game, and do we play for bot lane, do we play for mid lane, do we play for top lane? So there's a lot of like calls, right? A lot of like chaos, because everyone kind of wants resources, everyone wants to play for the lane. We have a lot of veterans on our team, so there's a lot of ideas, and a lot of times we are scared of maybe overcalling someone, and or there would be like a question in the room, like, okay, which call do we go for now? And nowadays we, I would say, establish roles for the team. So Speaker mainly handles the early game, saying what he wants to do, and the laners give information about how we can help him and how he wants to play and get a lead. And then in the mid game, it's mostly, I would say, like who needs what out of me, calling like how the lane assignments are gonna be and how we want to play the mid game out. And since we have a lot of experience, we have like really creative calls from time to time too, like multiple Baron sneaks, or there's like some good rotations, completely out rotating the enemy just by, I would say, having that veteran experience.
And you said mid game, and then what happens late game?
Well, late game, I would say it's always like a combination of everyone needs to chime in. A lot of times the carries communicate all team fights, so like I would say like a strong shot calling portion of team fights is on me and Lost, because we pull out the damage numbers. We should have the best overview on how the team fights are gonna play out. But about late game situations and rotations, it's a team effort. Like everyone needs to know, and everyone needs to chime in. I remember there's like this one crazy game where I think I'm Asi defending the base against like 2 people. I can't even remember against what team that was. And at that time, I can tell you that like everyone is screaming, everyone's chiming in. I'm like trying to give them as much information as possible that I can. I'm like, I want to try to defend. Like, I might need someone to base, and then like they're screaming because they're all fighting. So it's like, I think it's a team effort, like very late game situation.
It's all everyone's screaming is
yeah, it's just
it's a team effort.
Monkeys,
Yeah. Okay. We're obviously talking a lot about TL, C9, and TSM, which is what I've spent the last half decade of my life doing. But what about the other teams that are in playoffs? So we've got EG, 100 Thieves, and Dignitas. What do you think their chances are in playoffs? Because obviously, especially Dignitas, they've been, really surprising people. So do you think any of these 3 teams has a chance to really like show up, maybe knock one of the big 3 out? I don't know. Do you consider any of them a threat?
For me, the main part was actually just securing top 4, because I feel like every team is kind of similar stacked and everyone can beat each other. So I wouldn't even say like, oh, like we or TL are like miles ahead, as I said before, because, as example, we lost 2 times against Dig, right? And Dig lost against the other team. So it's like everyone is kind of winning against each other, and just having that, like, I guess, like second chance is really helpful to experience and see how we stack up, right? And to your question, like I think Dig, EG, and Hana Thieves, they all have like different win conditions, I would say, and like different strengths. Like EG is like really crazy, where they like have Igna normally roam to Jizuka, and then Jizuka normally tries to take over the game, and Jizuka normally, I feel like, wins or loses them the game. So like he's a main
coin
factor.
flip, yeah.
And then 400 Thieves, they're trying out with Roma now. I think it's going okay for them. Roma's bringing like a different style, right, compared to Damonte. So gonna see how they stack up. And Dig, I wouldn't say they're like the most insane individual players, but I would say like their biggest strength is that they're kind of like a hive mind, and they really play really well together as a team. And it kind of reminds me of maybe last year when I was in FlyQuest.
Yeah.
I feel like we would always win team fights, and I think today showed as well when they played against FlyQuest, just how much better they are as a team in team fighting. The team fight at the last fight in the base, I think Neo and Afromo actually played that exceptionally well and kind of like won them the game just like that. But it's not only these 2 that sometimes can win them the game. I feel like they all have like their moments, and I think they all are really good in team fights. So
yeah,
I think every team has a good chance to win it all, and it just comes down to, as I said, drafts and preparation.
Very good. Well, I guess we're gonna see how the drafts go down. A lot of pressure on Bjergsen now for these drafts, I guess, these days.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure.
Yeah, I love the players just on a bunch of different teams, but just always willing to throw the coach under the bus for drafts. So I don't know how much you guys do that on TSM, but I've seen it elsewhere.
We do a little bit, but I think Bjergsen is someone who is. I feel like he knows when he thinks he got outdrafted or when he thinks he did a mistake, and I feel like it's really nice that he's like stepping up and saying, "Oh, like that was not an easy draft to play out, or that was a bad draft for me." And there's multiple drafts where I feel like he actually hard outdrafted the enemy team. So it's like, you can allow your coach to have a bad one once in a while.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. Either way, anything you want to say to any of the TSM fans out there?
I just want to say to all the TSM fans, I really appreciate all the support. I feel like even from the early stages when we didn't perform as well, you guys supported us, and I would say most of the feedback that I got was really friendly, and hopefully we can keep it up and win it all. I feel like we're in a good spot, secured second place in the regular season, and I'm confidently heading into the TL best of 5.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, PoE, for the interview. Really appreciate it. Looking forward to seeing how TSM does in the playoffs. And for everyone else, You can check out the rest of my coverage of all things LCS right here on my YouTube channel. Hey, Canada. So sorry about, am I doing it right? The lack of Alienware code for you working over the past however many years of my Alienware deal. I guess we're in year 3 now. But we got it fixed. If you are in Canada, you can now use Travis10off as a code at checkout when you order your Alienware PC. And I'm doing this for you, okay? There was a decent amount of like pestering. Not that they don't, it's complicated, right? Because Dell's a bunch of companies split all over the place and they own Alienware, by the way. So either way, we figured it out. We got you a code, Travis10off. Use it to save 10% off, and maybe reward me with some maple syrup.